What is up, guys? Fancy here. Today I want to do a video because I recently, not recently. Recently would imply like I knew this a few days ago. No, I just found out that that Basalt is going to be the next Guardian reward. So like it's it's confirmed now. It's on the server. Oh shit! Wait, my bell is gonna die. So I decided to make a video talking about Basalt, the Dark Mammoth, because he is my MVP of my ToA hard team. He's ever since I got him, he's been on every single floor. I've used him for every single level, and he's not just good for ToA hard. There are a lot of uses for him, but right now I only have him ruined for ToA hard. So this is specifically Basalt built for ToA hard. Basalt's really strong because in ToA hard, what you want to do is you want to be able to CC the enemy as much as possible. So you want to be able to utilize some sort of stuns, slows, so their attack bars don't fill up as fast. And then you want to have a bit of attack bar reduction, and this will keep your enemies like stunned the whole entire time. And because especially on higher floors, if you get to floor 80 something plus, if the enemy is like an attack type monster, say they're like, for example, Hua or something, and they get a single turn off, then one of your units are gonna they'll pretty much take one of your units to have health. And if both of them attack at the same exact turn, then one of your units dies immediately. And if you're not running a revive team, it's pretty dangerous. I personally don't like to rely on revives for ToA hard. I don't think it's a good idea because I like to be able to stay in control, keep the momentum, make sure they're CC'd, they're debuffed, and then like I'm buffed up, I'm like my dick is bigger than yours. I have no idea where I said that. but what that means is like I'm the one that's keeping your my enemies debuffed, and I'm the one in control because I have my buffs on all the time. I have someone speed buffing, attack bar filling, and then you're always slow down. You're always getting your attack bar reduced. You're always the one being stunned. I like to keep that type of play style. I don't think it's even a style. It's just my way of doing ToA hard. Obviously, there are a lot of ways of doing ToA hard. Some people use tanks. Like, it's actually possible. Say for example, right now they're all water and fire, and then they like to attack a fire unit. I could potentially put in a fire tank that has some sort of utility, and then I can use healers like Chasun or Neil with invincibility or something like that to stop my fire unit from dying ever. But that's a different strategy. The strategy I go for when I try to do ToA hard is just mainly CC, with attack bar reduction and slow. So as you can see right now, my team has all that. I have attack bar fill. Well, Bella has a little bit with heal. Vermos has his CC and some utility that he brings to the table. My Beretta has attack bar reduction and dots. Dots are very important. You should at least have one monster with dots to dot down the monsters in ToA hard, or else the runs will take forever. And I have Spectral for the slow and the attack bar reduction. I have Basalt as my other healer, and he also has attack bar reduction. That's why he's so strong, because he's pretty much the only monster in the game, I think correct me if I'm wrong, that has attack bar reduction and heal. So this is how I build my ToA team. You can copy or kind of just use this as a basis for your ToA hard team as well. If you want to use the strategy of CCing, attack bar reduction and all that stuff. I find that it's actually possible to keep enemies CC'd without attack bar reduction, because my old TO team was kind of like that. But bosses are really attack bar reduction is really effective against bosses, because bosses can't be CC'd. So obviously, if you're going through the normal levels, excluding the boss levels, you can actually make it through. It's actually easier for you to, if you want to chain CC, to use a lot of monsters with CC, and just make sure you don't stack their CC at the same time. And then this way you can keep all 5 units CC'd without any sort of attack bar reduction. Because I was able to do that. I used to run something like I ran like Shannon on Despair with Kona and Vermos, and that was actually able to and Zinc, and that was actually able to I was actually able to stun the whole entire team, pretty much permanently, every single run, with like one of them getting a single turn like every 3 levels or something like that. But right now I like to use attack bar reduction because this is really effective against bosses as well. Oh shit, that immunity doesn't look good. And I don't think I'm talking enough about Basalt. I'm talking more about like ToA hard in general. But one of the reasons why Basalt is really strong, his attack bar reduction. Another reason why Basalt is, oh my god, I think I might die. Wait, let me just remove this. Oh shit, I lost Basalt. This can't be good. Okay, I think I should be fine. I'll wait one more turn before I start my CC spree. I'll wait for her to go. Actually, I should slow now, or this is going to end badly. I should still be able to do this if I can keep this one chain CC'd. Okay, the Despair stun didn't work. If she does immunity buff right now, I'm pretty much fucked. See if I can kill her as fast as possible. Keep this one's attack bar low, and then yeah, keep the stun chain up. All right. So back to Basalt. Oh, let me just make sure we're not getting wrecked right now. We're not getting wrecked right now. All right. One of the other reasons why Basalt is so strong is because of his ability to provoke. Provoke is also really useful against bosses, because some of you may know that ToA bosses are immune to CC, any sort of CC, like freeze, stun, sleep, all those hard CCs, but they're not immune to attack bar reduce and provoke, and slows. So they're not immune to those. And then that's actually one of the ways you can use attack bar reduction and provoke, to make sure the boss, like especially bosses that have a really threatening third skill, to make sure they never get a single turn off. And yeah, that's floor 62. I'm not actually doing a guide on that floor. I'm looking at my monster Basalt, and his second skill is really strong because he also has a heal. Obviously, his main role in my team is the healer. But he does bring a lot of other utility to the table. The way you want to build your ToA hard team is you don't want anyone on your team, like any single unit on your team, to be a one-trick pony. You don't want them to only have one skill that's useful. You want to have at least some, like 2 or more types of utility. So the team I showed just now, my Bretta is on my ToA team because he has attack speed leader, which is really useful. I keep him as leader, and this way I get more turns than the enemy. He has dots, which is really useful on ToA hard because the monsters at higher floors, they have a lot of HP, and there's no real way to nuke them down besides to use dots. And turbulence is really useful because this is attack bar reduction, really useful against bosses and all that. And his dots is also AoE, so I have him on despair. So he's my despair stunner. He has speed leader skill. He has AoE dots, and he has attack bar reduction. So that's like 4 roles right there. And then Spectra actually only has 2 roles really. He is mainly here for this skill, and sometimes this skill is really useful. Actually, this skill is actually really underrated. A lot of people don't yeah, they kind of overlook this because it says enemies max HP, so they just think of Spectra as just this random nuker. My nuker could probably do better or something like that, but that's not always the case, because Spectra is really useful on higher floors of ToA, especially higher boss floors like floor 90 and floor 100. On those boss forts, the bosses have a lot of HP, and this is one of the most useful things to take down the boss. And Spectral is one of the reasons why I was able to clear ToA 100 last time, because he was my only source of damage against the ToA 100 boss, who heals back after you hit him. And this stops the boss from healing back, that much, because it does a lot of damage to him. So it basically chunks the boss for like I would say around 4 or 5% of their max HP usually, and that's why he's really useful, because if you want to be able to take down bosses, Spectra does that really well, and his third skill is really really strong. So Spectra's got two utility skills. And then I have Veramos there for my stunner. Veramos is there for mostly for the AoE stun. He also has DOS to help you burst down people, because if you want to burst down anyone on higher floors of ToE, you kind of have to do it with dots, because this way, if you keep your Beretta stacking dots and then just have Veramos keep stacking even more dots on one unit, you can take down that unit really fast. Veramos also has this, which is unique. It removes harmful effects. This is why Veramos is like really really strong. And on floors like where you can't use Beretta's leader skill, you can also use Veramos's leader skill for HP. Floors that I know for like 99, I remember it was like a Leo floor, and I wasn't able to use Beretta's leader skill because speed doesn't work against Leo, so I used Veramos's leader skill, which is HP, and which helps my team a bit. And I had Bella there mainly for the heal, for the remove. He's not usually on my ToA hard team because he kind of only fills one role there. You don't really need armor break. Most of the time you won't need this skill either. But he's only temporarily there. But no, there's no more buts. he's just Bella. Basalt has 3 utilities, so that's why I have him on my ToA hard team. He also serves as a dark tank. There are a lot of light units that do a lot of light damage in ToA hard, and he does tank that damage very very well. Most of the time I don't use Bella. I use monsters like Zinc or Eridus or Verd, depending on what I want to do. If I want to get more turns, I use Verd. If I know I can't make sure I CC them forever, but I can negate some of their damage, I use Zinc for attack debuff. And then Eridus, if I want to CC them forever, I will take out Veramos, put in Eridus, and put in Verd, something like that. This has become quite a general video. It's not even about Basalt anymore. It's more of a ToA hard how-to guide. I think I will want to make more ToA hard guides in the future. It actually makes me pretty excited, like, to be able to make ToA hard guides, because I was actually able to just clear ToA hard for the first time last reset. So I want to try to be able to clear it on the Lilith reset. I still don't have a strategy on how to beat Lilith yet, but I think it should work. Just my normal ToA normal strategy against Lilith should work on her on hard. Since my units are strong enough, like their stats are good enough, I should be able to use the same strategy on her in ToA hard. And I think that's pretty much it. So this I planned to talk about Basalt, but I ended up talking a lot more than about Basalt. So I guess I'll title this like ToA team building or something like that. And hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.